And welcome to GOG Games. We are broadcasting the first ever WPNQ,
Yes.
a 32-player invite-only tournament that qualifies you for the Players Tour in Japan in
Yes.
lovely, lovely Nagoya next year. I believe Nagoya, because there's nothing else there besides Toyota factories and convention centers, cheap
So
convention
it's
centers.
just Toyotas and Magic.
Yeah, just cars and magic. Everything you need for a healthy, balanced life. Um, Oh no, yeah.
No,
So yeah, this
this
is
was
fine.
live. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So today's format is gonna be standard, and we have Joseph Torrijos and Faisal Rosmarudin, and they are switched around. So let's just swap the people around. Yep, that's correct.
Yep.
We'll save. So you gotta pardon us a little bit.
I think
we
Joe has the deck list.
I can't remember. You gotta give us a little bit of learning time here. Me and Brian are not the most adept users of this interface. Never mind the format. Me and Brian were talking about it, and we know some of the cards. Brian knows most of the cards. But
I know more than you, bro. Maybe.
yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Damn, you guys heard it here first. Famous last words. Brian says, "I know more than you."
Farmionite.
For what?
Farmionite.
Farmionite. Yeah, I know Farmionite.
2 and black. Instant.
Sorry?
2 and black instant adventure.
Yeah. You draw one card, lose one life.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Hey, my first day. Okay. So we don't actually know what Faisal's playing yet. So as we figure it out, we will update the name from Faisal Deck Wins.
The decks also.
Oh yeah, we gotta swap the decks. Whoops. It would be funny if he named.
Joseph is playing Faisal deck wins.
Yeah, his name is like a Faisal Deck Wins. Okay, cool. Oh,
I'm not very.
Gru.
I don't really think he's on Gru. I think Ilham was saying that he changed his.
yeah,
deck.
it could be. But since we're gonna change the names anyway, might as well do it.
That's true.
Yeah, standard's pretty cool at the moment, right? There's a lot of new stuff going
Joseph
on.
qualified yesterday, right? So
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
here.
I was here. I watched him play Guru Aggro. I watched him play.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So don't worry. I watched as people had their love struck beasts like staring at each other because no one had a 1-1 in
No
play.
one had a 1-1.
Yeah.
Okay, looks like.
So there's a players meeting currently going on. I wish we had coordinated this a little bit better, but yeah, no worries. There's plenty of stuff for us to talk about. We can talk about standard, how great it is, the WPNQ, how awesome it is to be able to hold like large standard tournaments and have people qualify for basically the Pro Tour, kind of like a qualifier to the Pro Tour.
Yeah, but so like this will be they're qualifying to go to Japan, and then which will qualify them for Mythic Championship, right?
Yes, the
On
Mythic Championship.
on arena,
On
or is it paper?
paper. This is the
Paper.
paper route.
Oh.
Yeah. So the arena route is all arena, and the paper route is all,
All paper. That's
then
cool.
they meet at the Worlds.
So
the I think the odd numbered MCs this year are the arena MCs, and then the even numbered ones are the paper
Oh.
MCs. Or it could be couldn't. Oh, okay. So this is definitely not Gru Aggro, guys. I see a temple of mystery.
mystery.
Oh, I know
Blue
more
green.
than you.
It looks like everyone's on food.
Yeah, everyone's on food today. It looks like banned something because I see a Teferi in his hand. Something.
Just banned ramp.
Banned Nissa. Great green cards in the format. Temple of Mystery, an interesting card in the deck because it is not a forest, so it doesn't actually produce 2 green mana. But I suppose the Scry is pretty important.
It's just for the mana base because.
Just for the mana base.
Yeah, because.
I mean, you can do cute stuff like Teferi your own land, right?
I don't think you can.
If it's a 3/3.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
you lose
and then you scry again.
You attack with your vigilance 3/3. You tap it for mana. You bounce it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then you get extra land drop too. Yeah. So
Okay. Looks maybe Faisal was on Gogari Adventures.
I know it looks like Sultai. I saw a breeding pool at the front of his hand. So
How about that Jan Knights?
the Jun Knights deck that we saw, the hot garbage deck. Okay, let's what is this? 200
200 life.
200 life. Fair. Okay. So I'm gonna operate the life total. So you gotta do the play-by-play, man. I'm gonna provide the color commentary.
Oh, we don't have the life totals next to
We
them.
don't have the life total
The counter, right?
counter, yeah. Okay, so maybe Brian can help me and go set that
Yep.
up while I talk about this game. Paradise Druid, not a goose. The goose is not loose, but that's a good it's a good approximation of goose. Yeah, like I think the decks look to be super similar. Just green decks that are gonna try and leverage Nissa, Oko, and all these other powerful new cards from Eldred, Turn of Eldraine. Yeah. So is this Growth Spiral? Oh, this is Growth Spiral. I mean, it looks like preordained to me, but I only cast the Legacy tournament. Yes, definitely Growth Spiral. So he's taking this ramp approach a little bit further, trying to go over the top. He's going to shock himself to 16.
Yeah, and then
16.
how will do it?
Yeah, so he played a Growth Spiral, and then he put he put a land to play, and he passed the turn, which not a good sign. Yeah.
After the
After the
Paradise
Growth
Druid,
Spiral. Yeah. No, he had the Paradise Druid in play to begin with. But I think he had the end
another
step
Growth Spiral.
Growth Spiral, which is interesting choice here. Like, he lost out on 2 damage with the Paradise Druid, right? And yeah,
But I don't think you're looking to get aggressive with the Paradise Druid.
yeah, for sure. But wouldn't you have just
Oh, they're both 18 apiece.
18? He shocked. Oh, he shocked end of turn. Yeah. Oh, he shocked now. Now he's shocked.
Mm.
He shouldn't be at 18, right? He should be at 16. Because he shocked on turn 2 as well.
He shocked on turn 2 to do what?
Yeah, okay, it's 18, 16.
Mm.
So this is the first Once Upon a Time. He's gonna find Paradise Druid. So yeah, I was just telling the audience that the decks are very similar, right? Like, it's just a green shell with whatever color you choose to add, whether it's Assassin's Trophy, or in this case, 4 main deck, green white, destroy target green white creature or Planeswalker
Noxious
card.
Grasp, yes.
Noxious Grass. Thank you, Brian.
Gain 1
He
life.
knows more than me. Gain 1 life.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Faisal's gonna go back up to 19.
Yeah, and Faisal's deck, the Sultai food deck, I think it does run for.
Oh, it's a food deck. Oh, they're
Yeah.
all food decks, right?
They're all built around Oko.
Yeah. So does that make it a food deck, or does that make it an Oko deck?
I think at this point, they're just so synonymous with each other,
Yeah, but he seems to be yeah, if you measured the progress in the game by number of permanents in play, Joseph looks to be way ahead. But we know that not to be true, right? It's just 2 geese. Is it 2 geese? Yeah, it's 2 geese. Yeah, it's 2 geese and 2 food tokens.
2 food tokens.
Yeah, the goose is loose.
The food tokens are so colorful. It's
Yeah. It's like Thanksgiving. yeah. It's a lot of food and then turkey on the table.
I was playing in Arena and
It's like straight up ignoring me.
I would
Yeah.
too.
So this
Moving right along.
what is this wolf? This wolf that comes into play and fights a creature, and then you can sacrifice the food to give it.
Yep.
Wicked Wolf.
Really good card.
So Wicked Wolf. So where's Red Riding Hood?
Red Riding Hood is supposedly the Royal Scions, I think.
Oh.
Half of the Royal Scions.
More, baby.
Supposedly, yeah, because she has.
Supposedly. So she's got a hood.
Because she's red and
Okay,
she has
okay,
hood.
okay,
But
okay.
they didn't give her a feature
Yeah.
card.
And then when the guy comes back, he finds the Red Riding Hood in bed with the wolf. Is that? Wait.
Wait. I think we need to be a bit more PG.
Am I watching the wrong
not
version of
R-rated
the- Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That one is in the other side of Twitch.
Yeah. I mean, we're clearly been
Ben.
they're reading the wrong kind of fairy tales. Okay, so Nissa.
Oh my god.
Yes, and we see this play pattern. We're gonna see this play pattern a lot today, right? It's just bunch of ram, find Nissa, untap a land, and then start clocking you.
I wonder if Joseph's just gonna start beating with the 3/3. Because if Faisal wants to trade with the wolf, it's fine for Joseph, I think, because he still has.
Yeah, he still has Nissa, so he's
Yeah.
just turning out 3/3s every
Yep.
turn.
So he is. Yep. And Faisal is gonna block. Yep.
Faisal's gonna take the trade because he wants to be able to push back with his own.
Maybe questing
his
beast.
own Nissa, I'm guessing, right? Because he can pressure his Nissa by playing his own Nissa this turn.
Mm-hmm.
But nope, that's not what's happening. It's gonna be
Paradise Druid. Another Noxious Grass.
It's gonna be another Noxious Graph. So he's gonna go up to 20.
Mm-hmm. And Favorite Passage into a.
Fair Passage probably play Oko, you think? I mean, that's the best century play, right? You
Yeah,
reckon?
3 mana play.
I mean, then the boards are kind of in Faisal's favor. Nope, but it's gonna be a goose. The goose is definitely loose.
Yeah, I think he can just play a Goose and the Paradise Druid.
Oh, he's gonna play a druid first and then a goose.
Yep. So
So yeah, just
this,
mana and mana.
this card, Paradise Druid, it's 2 mana, 2/1, hexproof when it's untapped.
Yeah.
So it really helps green decks because in the past, whenever you just play a mana dog, you just get shocked or what, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
So I mean, it's following the footsteps of something like Sylvan Caryatid, right? That
Yeah.
has actual hexproof.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the key cards in this matchup are gonna be obviously the Planeswalkers, as we're seeing here. He's bouncing the food token, interesting, to kind of like keep him off mana. So Joseph obviously has an approach to this matchup that, he's kind of refined over time. Right? That's not the intuitive thing to do.
I mean, there's nothing else to bounce, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't bounce the goose either because you just get another food token.
Yep, and
Yeah.
the
goose would be loose in
and
that
the
case.
and
yeah.
the druid.
He wouldn't be loose. He wouldn't be loose. He'd be summoning sick. Within the next turn, he would be twice as loose.
All right, so now Faisal has
Yeah,
6
yeah.
mana at his
He'd be
disposal.
loose. Yeah. Faisal 6 mana at his disposal. I think Hydra Crisis is a huge problem in this matchup, right? Because players are going to gain a bunch of life, going to draw a bunch of cards. I think it's going to be super grindy, super attrition-y. And I think one of the keys to figuring out how to be winning matches in this format is knowing when to scoop,
Oh,
right? Because look, if both players have 1 Crisis each in their hand, this game, like the game is gonna go on for another 10
so you
minutes.
just go to game 2, game 3, hope that you can side better.
Yeah, if you know you're behind, right? Like if your opponent just drew 4 cards off 3 cards off a Crisis and has a Nissa, sure you could like drag the game out. You could, chump block. You could gain life with your food tokens.
Yeah, and you might just end up being 1 down and then it goes to time.
And it goes to time. Yeah. So it's about understanding, it's being able to see, okay, like 5 turns from now, am I still gonna be in a position to win this game? Assuming he draws an average distribution of cards, right? Obviously, you can hope, and that's the problem with these kinds of high like leverage tournaments or high payout tournaments, right? Is that people think of it as, this is my one chance, I better play all the games. But playing all the games means playing all the games, not just game 1 and then losing to time. As you can see, Joseph has a very deliberate approach to the game.
And yep, he is
And
gonna
yes,
slam.
We're gonna start with the the squid shenanigans.
Hydroid,
Flying
Crisis,
Sotong.
Jellyfish.
Jellyfish, 4/4 flying, draw 2 cards, go up to 2. Reverse. So a reverse what? It's a reverse Atok.
No, what?
Swings,
I wanted to say Atok.
swings revelation on a
Atok,
stick.
you said
Atok,
Atok.
the joke was dead.
Atok, you said Atok, but Atok wrong. Yeah. Squid Revelation. Is that what you're calling it?
Atok, we left that behind last week.
Squid's revelation, yeah.
Squid's Revelation? Okay. So now we're gonna call it Squid's Revelation.
Wow, so now actually in Pioneer you can play both this and
Swings
actual swings revelation.
Yeah. I mean, you draw a lot of cards and gain a lot of life.
And then?
And then you have
This
Big
Teferi-
Teferi, so you don't lose the game.
This Teferi is not too bad.
You
But
don't-
yeah,
you don't
look,
deck
we
out.
have a Nissa.
Nissa again, okay.
Yeah, so I think this is the key, right? It's like how we can go bigger with the Crisis. Right? If you have Nissa, then you can protect it. And then you can like Nissa survives long enough to be able to give your forest, Vernal Bloom, produce extra green mana. Correct card, guys. I could have said Mana Flare, but I said Vernal Bloom instead because
Vernal
it actually
Bloom.
produces only green. Yeah, and then
Clap for you. Clap for you.
do you know
Clap for
clapping
you.
is banned
On-
on campus in Cambridge?
But why?
Yeah, now it's jazz hands. Apparently, clapping it causes anxiety or causes some people to like triggers people.
Oh, okay. That's so weird. It's like one of
The more you know.
the freaking
Anyway,
strawberry
back to the
generation.
game. Like so, yeah. But here's the real problem, right? Like you're gonna see this ground gum situation come up over and over. But the first person to play that Crisis is often the one that
Oh yeah, and
has a bit of a disadvantage because his Crisis didn't come. He was often the one that has the advantage unless he doesn't have a Nissa in play, right? Which is what's currently happening here.
and ever since Joseph traded that land away, I don't think he's laid another land.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's been stuck on
He's
the
been
4
stuck.
lands.
Did he not lay this? Did he not lay this?
Well, like Faisal was already on like
Yeah. So yeah, Faisal's just playing this wolf to get the blocker out of the way so that his Paradise Druid can come in and kill that Nissa. So pretty good trade on Faisal's terms. I feel like Joseph left himself a little bit exposed to that. Like if you had Disdainful Stroke in hand, that would have been a much better situation. Now he's kind of like in trouble, right? His Crisis that if he plays a Crisis is going to be outsized by Faisal's Crisis.
yeah.
He doesn't have food tokens to use that goose with. Yeah, he's kind of fallen behind. Like
and his
if he,
Teferi doesn't do
for
anything.
example, if he had untapped that breeding pool with the Nissa and made it a 3/3, he could have used the goose to make a food token.
does
at the end
he
of turn,
does he have
right, or in
a
response to the attack?
disdainful stroke?
I mean, he might not have the Disdainful Stroke main deck, but that doesn't matter, right? Like at least bluff it. So keep the blue mana open. So this is Oko, everybody's favorite $60 Planeswalker.
All right. Must
It's gonna put a food token in play.
food token.
Yeah, food token is gonna enable that goose. The goose
So
enable.
I guess now does he have? I don't think you would have a main board disable
I
stroke.
don't think so. I don't. The way he played obviously doesn't have it, but like, wouldn't you just do that anyway? Plus if you untap the breeding pool, you could have made a food with the goose at the response, right?
But then so what did the wolf kill?
The wolf killed
The land,
the
right?
land. Yeah. So you could have tapped the land for green and blue and made a food, right? So now you kind of like you're behind in terms of mana, and you have Oko in play, but this Oko is really under a lot of pressure from the Crassus plus Paradise Druid. Any removal spell on Faisal's part or a Nissa of his own will be able to kill that Oko.
The goes on 6, right? Because he made a
Orko's on
food,
6, yeah,
and
yeah.
the Crassus will trample for 2 if he blocks, so he can't even he can't
Yeah,
exchange.
he can't exchange.
So
He only has one blocker. He has a flying blocker. Yeah. And this could be his Oko of his own to make his goose a 3/3.
Yep.
Yeah, and that puts paid to the Oko's on 6, right? Yeah.
You think he'll make the goose a 3/3?
I think he could make the goose. I mean, it's debatable. If he makes the goose 3/3, he gets rid of the Oko this turn, right?
Yeah, because Joseph only has one blocker in the goose.
Yeah, one blocker in the goose, and then either he, yeah. Oh no, he blocks the goose, and then the Crassus is 4/4.
Chris is for 4.
Yeah.
And
So
has trample.
he gets 6 through anyway. So, yeah. You're looking at a dead Oko, I think.
Nope,
Oh no, he's
makes
making
a
a food token. Interesting. So he's gonna go for a
He's gonna
longer game.
he's gonna give Joseph a turn with his Oko, but
Or maybe he gives Joseph the food. Oh, he can't. No, yeah. He's already used Oko this time.
Yep.
Yeah. So he's gonna play a fork. Oh, is this Ambusher? No, sorry, Wicked Wolf.
Wicked Wolf.
Is this another Wicked Wolf? Wicked Wow.
Wicked Wolf kill the
Oh
the
no,
goose.
this is Golgari. This is Vraska. So
Ah.
Vraska's gonna take care of the goose or of
No,
the Oko
Oko, yeah.
and hit him for 4. And with just a goose in play and no real way to add power to the table, it's a pretty safe attack. Or Faisal could just leave it home and block a potential questing beast or a hasted creature, right? Because it being a 4/4 is pretty strong. Though
Yeah.
with Teferi on, is that Teferi on 2 or 3? Teferi's on 2, so there's no bounce shenanigans.
No attacks.
No
Interesting.
attacks. Yeah. So he realized that if this Vraska survives, he untaps with both Oko and Vraska.
He'll be very ahead.
Very far ahead, right? He's effectively drawing extra card a turn by creating a food token and sacrificing it to
Oh yeah.
his Arboreal Grazer, Wall of Wood, boys. Wall of Wood, baby. I honestly think it's just too much, Ram. Like with a Growth Spiral and
Arboreal Grazer
Grazer,
and
yeah,
goose and geese as well.
and Geese, like there's really just a little bit too much air in your deck. Yeah. The goose was loose, and now it's kind of been brought back to earth.
Yeah, and like you see, like now Teferi isn't doing much as well
Yeah,
because sure, your opponent can't play counter spells, but main deck.
Yeah. Like in game 1, I don't think it's
Game
the
one,
card
it
you want.
doesn't really
right?
matter, and then
It's a good card against the Fires we mentioned deck. Yeah, it slows them down a little bit. It bounces the prison term or
Prison Realm.
prison realm. Banish you to the Shadow Realm.
But there's not much for you to bounce here.
Yeah, it's not too much that you bounce, and like in a kind of grindy, like mid-rangey matchup like this, bouncing most of the creatures is bad. Most of the creatures are already the kind that come into play and give you value, right? The Wicked Wolf kills a creature by fighting it.
Yep.
The Crassus is massive and draws you a
The
bunch
goose
of cards.
comes in with a
Yeah, the goose comes in with a
food
token. Yeah, you can't bounce the Paradise Druid. you know. So yeah, even like Brazen Borrower. If there were Brazen Borrowers in this deck, bouncing Brazen Borrower is not a great feeling, right? Because they can just
definitely
replay
not.
the
Yeah,
yeah. So
so much tempo with that.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know if I like Teferi, and I definitely think the Sultai deck is at an advantage, especially with access to 4 Noxious Grasp.
So it looks like Faisal made the goose a 3/3 now.
Yeah. The goose is loose, guys.
But it's no longer a goose, it's an elk now.
Balloon fly.
Damn it. Yeah. Okay. I will make this joke at some point. It will be contextually accurate, but it's sort of loose. Yeah, it's grown horns and
Faisal is shocking himself down, okay?
yeah, Faisal shocking himself to
Another creature?
in a shocking turn of events. Faisal has lost 2 life to play a massive Crassus.
Draw 2 cards and
Draw
gain
2 more cards and gain 2 more life. Thank you. The bookkeeper is very happy that this.
sacrificing.
So yeah,
No, he's sacrificing up to 1 permanent.
he's gonna go up.
Yep.
Gonna go up.
To draw a card. Yep.
Yeah. Is he just going up? He's not sacrificing a permanent. Oh, he sacrificed the food token.
This Southside food deck is really just hosing the mirrors because
Yeah. He came prepared. He had 4 Noxious Grass. Or
Because
some amount of
yeah,
Noxious
because
Grass.
there's in the Golgari Adventures deck, right? You play. It was deciding to play between the Noxious Grass or the Vraskas. So in that deck, you don't want to play Vraskas because it's too slow.
Yeah, yeah.
But in this deck, you get best of
Yeah,
both
yeah.
worlds. You have
This is max greed, right? Like you get to play all of the cards that are great in the mirror because you expect this to be the meta game today, which is
Yeah.
it's great. It's a good call on Faisal's part, right? And you see like this Cresses for 4, which is gonna net Joseph 2 cards into life. It's not
It's not enough.
great. Like he's actually the Cresses is dead, right? Because of the Raska that's in play.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's Hey, wait, can you make your Cresses a 3/3 with
Yes.
Oko and then it becomes a 6/6?
Yes, but it doesn't.
Oh.
But it loses fly and trample.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. But like that's a lot of pressure because he can make one of his Cresses like massive this turn, right?
Yep.
He has a Nissa, you can do the same thing with
The lands.
Oh, but doesn't Nissa say? Oh, but Nissa says non-land.
+1/+1 counter, so it becomes like
Yeah,
becomes
yeah,
creature,
yeah.
it becomes
Yeah, but
creature.
you can't Nissa a land twice.
You can.
But you
can
can
Nissa land.
Oko the land.
You can Oko land.
But then the land doesn't make mana.
Yeah.
Oh.
6/6
Okay. So yeah, he sacrificed the Vraska to get rid of the Cresses, and I think this is really key.
To
and
play
what,
his other Raska.
what I think, yeah.
No,
Well,
no,
what
no.
I think is really important in playing a matchup like this is knowing when to turn the corner, right? Like you
Yeah.
built this massive material advantage. It's time to convert that into
Wow.
momentum. And this is a lot of momentum. I think this is
Yeah.
is this lethal?
When
This is lethal if he had Okko Okko one of the
Criticism?
Cresses, right?
Chrisi?
Because that's 8, 11, 14, 16, that's 19, yeah? Oh, but he had a blocker.
Blocker,
he had
0-3.
Yeah. But if does he you can't kill him through a blocker, but if
Because
he
you lose a trample.
loses trample and
Yeah.
flying, yeah. But yeah, this
Just
is fine. I'm gonna play a second. I'm gonna play
Crisis.
a Crisis for 4, right? Because all those are 4s.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow.
So it goes back up to 22.
And just draws 2 cards. Makes a full
Another full
token.
play. And yeah, look, like we said at the start of the game,
Yeah.
if the state of the game is based on
It's all over now.
how many permanents Joseph has, then it's
Yeah,
Yeah,
Joseph had so many permanents at like turn
At the
3
start,
or turn
yeah.
4, but
But-
it just didn't matter because they didn't like.
it didn't matter. Like, yeah, he didn't manage to channel that mana into a Cressis, whereas Faisal did, right?
It was
Faisal
like-
picked his spots with his Cressis.
Was it a turn 2 growth spiral
Pretty
to a
well.
turn 3 growth spiral?
Yeah,
Like
it was turn 2 Growth Spiral into turn 2 Growth Spiral. So turn 2 Paradise Druid into 2 Growth Spirals on turn
turn 3.
3, not putting extra land in play.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit too much ramp. Yeah. I like what you said, Brian. It's all ogre now. Okay. So sideboarding, obviously, stuff like Mystic Rebuke.
I don't think, for Joseph's side, yes, but for Faisal's side, no, because
You don't think that's what that's what he's after?
because you see that Joseph is playing Teferi, so
That's true.
I don't think you really want counter spells, and you don't really want to waste your removal on a Teferi. I think in order to enable your counter spells.
Mystic Rebuke, is it?
Mystical Rebuke, I think. Dispute.
Dispute. Sorry, Rebuke is
Yeah.
a different card. Okay, so yeah, this is the card we're talking about. It's kind of like Gainsay.
It's
Yeah,
It's
a
like one mana
Gainsay.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a blue spell, and we saw how powerful the blue spells were in that game. But I actually think I agree with Brian. The key in this matchup, I think, is Nissa, right? Because Nissa lets you go way over the top, right? It's all your lands produce double mana, right? And with access to Noxious Grass, I'm fully expecting a complement of 4 after a post board. With access to extra Noxious Grass.
without Noxious Grasp on Joseph's side,
like
it feels really bad.
yeah, if he keeps 2 mana open and you play a Nissa, like he can just respond to the activation and kill the Nissa, right? Which means that you don't actually get double mana off of that land. So
Yeah.
you have to like straight go into your play the next spell with the added mana. Yeah.
Joseph will probably be sideboarding in some Veils of Summers.
Veil of Summer, okay.
Yeah.
Veil of Summer's not bad. Veil of Summer's not pretty good, right? It protects your Nissa. It's gonna be. Should we not talk so loud because they might hear?
Like you can just Veil of Summer in response to the
To Noxious
the Golgari Vraska's activation as well,
But they're very quiet.
right? Hexproof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think all those things are pretty good. Plus if you expect some amount
This
of
is the
mystical dispute.
preview. It's not.
It's not
yeah.
mystical dispute.
Nice transition,
We have
yeah.
to transition the card. Okay. This is the card we're talking about, everybody. So we
Yeah.
go over some choice sideboard cards. Mystical dispute. We've all been talking about this for long enough, but this is also the card that's kind of like the $3 uncommon. What was it? The $3, $9 uncommon.
Veil of Summer. Yeah.
Veil of Summer from M20.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very powerful card. great in standard as well as in older formats. Yeah.
Yeah. So as like a older player, right?
Hey,
You, I'm
hey,
asking
Oh,
you.
you like
hey,
that,
You
bro?
know,
wait,
you've
wait,
been
wait,
playing
wait,
for
wait.
very long.
Ah,
Okay.
okay. That's the way to word
As
it,
an
Brian.
experienced player,
As
as
an
an experienced Magic
player.
player.
Yeah, yeah.
Hola,
So
hola.
is it true that only recently Green has been getting
Hey,
a lot
Johan,
of
what's up?
has been getting a lot of good
Hoses?
better tools? Yeah,
I mean, there was Choke.
Yeah.
Do you remember
Right.
Choke?
Choke.
I never played it, but I
Choke.
know
Not
of it.
choke before, right?
Choke is a bad.
Islands don't
It's a
have that.
bad card for a blue mage. Yeah. There was also like Life Force, 2 green enchantment, pay two green, and then you could
Yeah,
counter a
because
black spell.
I was reading some articles and they were saying like Green breaks the color pie the most. Is that-
Yeah. But breaks the color pie. Oh, okay. So I think that's a different discussion,
Mm.
to be honest. So we're gonna go back to
because in Veil of Summer you have like a pseudo counter spell of
yeah,
sorts.
yeah. But I don't think it's necessarily breaking the color pie, right? It's like saying that Choke is land destruction,
Mm.
right?
It was more of like, so many good green cards being printed at once. Once Upon a Time, Veil of Summer, Questing Beast.
But I think they tested with formats in mind, and to make green a viable color. Yeah, it might have been too viable, but it's been too pushed,
Green has always been pretty viable in standard. I think with
Yeah.
back in the other formats, it was like Pelt Collector, Galta, Steel Leaf Champion.
Yeah.
Crap.
But even then, that was very one-dimensional. Like what I'm
Mono green
worried about
Stompy,
is
yeah.
what I'm worried about is a card like Nissa, right? That
Yeah.
I think people have said is the best card in standard, and I'm inclined to agree with them, right? Because it's Mirari's wake.
That
Oh,
gives you a 3/3.
Vernal Bloom to be accurate, guys. It makes 3/3s. It's everything in one. Like I don't think I don't think I've seen too many cards that do it all. Other than Jason
Shifting
Meister.
Ceratops in the sideboard.
Shifting Ceratops. Let's have a look at that card. Johan, thank you for the curveball.
I don't think.
Is that Johan?
Yeah, it's Lemming Messiah, man.
Hey, can you ask him why communicate with Johan over the stream? Hey, you're supposed to come
Yeah,
back for me,
protection
right?
from blue. I don't think so. I think the problem with this card is that Wicked Wolf just seems better, right? Like then there's not too many. I mean, I guess Aether Gust is a thing.
Aethergast is seen in the sideboards of I think Jeskai Fires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're not too much in this like green heavy decks. Yeah. But settle in, guys. It's gonna be a long Sunday watching a bunch of green mid range
I
decks.
think
just try and-
the Pro Blue isn't that relevant because a lot of the creatures that are on the board nowadays are all green,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
There's the goose
And the blue part is
druid.
like it's good against the fairy for sure.
You only Pro Blue against at most a Hydro Crisis. That's all.
Yeah. But even then, like you're not getting blocked by Cresses all that often, right? The Cresses is probably pressuring a Planeswalker or something, especially in a matchup where you can
Correct.
gain upwards of like 9 to 10 life a turn
Yeah.
in between the food and the Cresses triggers. So yeah, both players going to game 2. I think Faisal's favorite with the way his deck is set up.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
such a powerful Noxious Grass, especially if you have access to 4 of them, it's just gonna be so powerful in this matchup.
As well as a Vraska.
And in the hands of somebody like Faisal who knows how to take advantage of that slight advantage, right?
Yep, Faisal's deck wins.
Yeah, let's just change the deck name right now. No. There's some really interesting decks here today. But this is going to be the Goose. The Goose is going to be loose.
Turn 1, Goose is loose.
Thanks, Brian. Maybe Brian supports me. Brian
Yeah,
affirms.
only Joe
Yeah, only Joe,
groans in
yeah,
anguish.
yeah. Just pretends to not like everything. But actually.
Secretly,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think there's a term for that.
Ultimate Sundari.
Oh.
Sundari.
What's that? So Ultimate Sundari is what?
No, he's just
you-
Sundari, but it's,
Oh,
Ultimate is just
that
a
was like frisbee.
prefix. Yeah.
This is game 2. This is game 2. Thank you for reminding us to put the fact that it is game 2. Match game 2. Game 2. What do I do? How do I do this?
I guess you just put 2.
Yeah. Hang on. Let me. No. Chill. WPNQ standard.
So what did? Okay. So now it's a Goose and a Paradise Druid on Joseph's side, and now Joseph. I don't think he drew a land, so maybe that's why he's thinking a bit more. So he's attacking with his Paradise Druid. Oh no. Okay. As a Ram deck,
No,
you don't want to be not drawing lands.
dude. The goose is flying, right?
The Goose has
I
like
would have said attack with the goose. Send a message.
you can make food.
That's true. But you also send a message.
I think he definitely wants to make food.
No. I've definitely attacked with a non-zero amount of Birds of Paradise before. Yeah. Okay, so Wicked Wolf, very, very powerful play here.
Okay, okay.
What?
I'm just checking
My.
if it shows. Yeah.
So this is the disdainful stroke.
I've commented this.
Yeah. The disdainful stroke is going to take care of Faisal's attempted Wicked Wolf, and you see that's why he left mana open. Though
Mhm.
I much prefer a line like that if he is already playing, like he has permanence that he's already ahead on the board, right? At this point, it's quite debatable as to who's ahead on the board. This is the
The
fairy,
fairy.
and because
just
the
does-
druid is tapped, he can
I
actually
think he
bounce
is
the
going.
druid.
I think he is gonna bounce the druid. Is he?
But what is he bouncing? He's just
He didn't.
he chose not to
He
bounce
chose.
anything.
Yeah. Oh, that's a misplay on his
Oh,
part.
why? Why? Oh, so he assumed that the druid had
Has
extra
proof all
because
the
he's just
time.
not reading his cards.
Yeah.
Can you please read your cards? This is like,
Oh, that was not the play.
oh, the judge just looked at me, so maybe they can hear me say, "Can you just please read your cards?"
No lah, nobody can hear you lah. You don't oversensitive.
This
Oh,
is
then
insane.
Yeah, you see now.
This is like,
Now the fairy just dies to the paradise
Joseph
druid,
is-
which could have been bounced.
yeah, Joseph just spewing value. Oh my lord,
Oh,
what is going on
no.
here? Is this Wicked Wolf again? Oh, this is
No, so Faisal tapped his paradise
this
druid
is
for mana,
terrible.
but and Joseph didn't bounce.
this is Veil of
Paradise
Summer though.
Druid
Veil of Summer is pretty
fairy.
good.
So
Yeah, Veil of Summer is pretty good at protecting his own Paradise Druid off of the food token. But the food token goes away, so unless he has a way to put food token in play, he can't play a Nissa this turn. So, yeah, Joseph's
and
misplay
Oko
is just getting compounded.
and Oko is at 5, so you
It's
can't.
not. This is not Oko. This is Raska.
Raska.
Yeah.
So
Raska's
Raska's
down
at
to
1.
Yeah,
okay.
so you can pressure that with
With
he
his
can
own
trade it
Paradise
back
Druid,
with- yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So a little bit of pinging back and forth, but he's gonna So this goose might become a 3/3.
Yeah, I think he should make the goose a TG.
Yeah, the goose is loose.
The goose is
is
an
loose.
elk.
How
many goose is times killing we will the- Yeah, but yeah, most notably also missing a land drop. So that
Indeed.
yeah. That
The slight misplay.
that Nissa
Major
stranded
misplay.
in his hand. I think it's pretty major.
Yeah,
dude.
it's pretty
Like,
major.
He could be a lot further ahead in this
He
game.
could have a Teferi on the board, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could have a Teferi on the board. Your opponent could, not have played his Vraska
Vraska.
because of the yeah. I mean, he could have played Vraska if he had untapped land, and but even that being said, like if you had taken care of your Paradise Druid, you basically have the same board
Well,
but with a Teferi.
Right, so Nissa.
This is Nissa. Oh, interestingly enough, he chose. Okay,
the Overgrown Tomb instead of the.
Overgrown Tomb. Oh, I think it's fair because the Overgrown
I don't
Tomb
think-
makes 2 mana.
And you can also tap it for
You
Noxious
can
Grass.
Noxious Grasp, so that's fair. I think he deliberately left that Paradise Druid open so you could trade for the Oko that was on 5 because of the.
So
and
so
then
wait.
Noxious Grasp.
So now Joseph understands that Paradise Druid doesn't have.
No, yeah. So this is the worst feeling. I think in one of the worst feelings when you're playing Magic is that you made a mistake and then
Yo.
you realize it later, and your opponent just keeps rubbing it in by playing the cards that tell you I made a mistake. And the worst part that's happening now is probably that Joseph is probably he's not in the best state of mind. He's not in the best frame of mind. He's tilted,
Yeah.
as the kids call it.
Yeah.
Right.
You lose game 1 and then.
You lose game 1 and then you make a rookie move, rookie blunder. If you read your cards, you would have been way ahead.
But it's fine. This is just round 1.
It's the tuition fee, man. Yeah, you learn, right? Like, there's plenty of people who've gone on to win Pro Tours or make top 8 at Pro Tours, losing the first round and being like, I gotta wake up.
yeah.
I gotta let the goose loose, man.
Round 1 already. I want to hit myself. Man.
It's gonna be a long day.
It's gonna be a long ass day.
Yeah.
Go for
So
your dinner already.
again, Faisal with a commanding board position and Joseph on 2 lands, and that's game.
Oh, this game.
Yeah.
Joseph on 2 lands.
Stuck on 2 lands, was pretty fatal, right? That sequence of not knowing that he could bounce his opponent's Paradise Druid into his opponent playing a Vraska to kill his own Paradise Druid. Not only was it like game wise bad for him, but also like it felt bad because he's like,
Oops.
I messed up.
Yeah.
I messed up. Ice is now hosting us. Thank you, Daryl.
Wow.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go and break, aren't we?
Yeah, we're gonna go on break real soon. But we just like to thank everybody who's tuning in.
Yeah, who are joining us? Yeah.
And add to.
Hi. Oh, yes.
It works.
Yes, it works.
Yes, Daryl.
Yes, Daryl, it works. Hi, it's nice to see you. Well, you're not here. You could. Hey, if why don't you leave the hosting on at home and then
And just come down.
come and join the stream.
Yeah.
Come and join the stream. Baby,
Baby
day.
day.
Bring the baby
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Awkward silence.
Ignore.
Awkward silence as all three of us.
Do.
All 3 of us think about the ramifications of having his kid
A
here
child.
in our store.
I go
Okay,
home, I go
so thank you all for joining in. This was round 1. It was supposed to be a 50-minute slogfest of epic proportions.
But
But it turned out that a couple of missteps, very fatal missteps.
Mental missteps.
maybe Joseph heard you, Ben. He's like, you know when to scoop.
Yeah,
right?
that's true. That's true. No one in the scoop, but
but not.
if it's your last game before this round ends, you should probably not scoop that early. But I mean, he was so far behind. He was stuck on 2 lands. Didn't draw on land for his turn. His
Yeah,
opponent had
it's kind of
like
bad.
a
Like,
massive amount of 3/3s in play.
he's probably playing like maybe 26, 27 lands
Yeah,
as a ram
yeah,
deck.
Yeah, and like adding extra Rams cards into your deck are great if they actually find lands, right? They're like Rampant Growth or Farseek or Kodama's Reach.
Yeah,
But like Growth Spiral
and
and Arbor,
Grazer, they both
Arbor
require-
Grazer, they
yeah.
both require you to have lands in your hand. So if you don't draw them, they don't get you out of your mana.
It's real. It's real
mana
bad.
mana pickle. Okay, cool. We're gonna put on a bit of a replay from our previous tournaments, but we'll join you real soon for round 2.
Round 2. Yep.
Yeah. Stop recording.